just had a question below the screen. There's a bar that says jewelry luxury is default, and there's boxes with all these different jewelry items. Why is that there? How do I maximize? Well, I guess I won't do that. Won't maximize the screen because hopefully other people will come online, and I think this is the only area where I can see them. So if I maximize screen, I don't think I'll be able to see other people. Oh, great. Hi, Claire. How are you? Welcome. We'll wait a few minutes. Hopefully other people will join us. Claire, do you have a video, or are you in a listen-only mode? Listen and ping mode. Oh, great. Oh, great. Seth has joined us. Welcome, Seth. We're waiting for a few minutes to give some other people an opportunity to come online. Oh, we have more people now. That's good. Ash has joined. Welcome, Ash. Babusha has joined. Let's give it another minute or two, and then we'll start. Okay, so let's start this online learning exchange for Module 3 with a couple of announcements. First announcement is that when we finish this module, we're going to change partners. So a new list, we'll post a new list, we'll send that out to everybody, has an email, and you'll have a new partner, and you'll probably have a new mentor. We're doing this because part of the goal of this course is to give the participants an opportunity to work with people from other countries. So we're gonna try to do that before the end of the week. Next Monday we start. Next Monday we start Module 4, which is on the environment and sustainable development, and we're going to distribute a new modified active learning assignment as we did for Module 3. So everybody will get that by Friday. In Module 3, we tried to focus the active learning assignment on having you make connections between the local, your own situation, and the national and the global as far as gender equity is concerned. In terms of Module 4, I think we're going to try to flip that and give you an opportunity to work on one of the many global issues that is related to environmental stewardship and sustainable development. I want to remind everybody who hasn't done so to please complete your Module 3 active learning assignment. Most people have done this, but one or two haven't yet done it. And so if you could complete your active learning assignment and send that to your mentor and your partner before the end of this week on Module 3, that would be great. And then the last, two other points, two other announcements. One is that I just want to commend people on the quality of the work that they've been doing for this course. I personally had an opportunity to look at and respond to several of the papers, the summaries, the active learning assignment summaries that people have done for Module 3, and they're quite outstanding. So I spoke to Babusha, and I think she's already done this. We're going to try now to upload the active learning assignment summaries onto our course site, at least those that are outstanding and deserve to be uploaded. And Babusha will be in contact with you about that, because some of these papers, I think, really will help your own learning about these issues, and they're quite good. Finally, the last announcement is that with Sandeep's help, we are working on trying to get a telephone to internet connection for people in Africa and Asia who have had difficulty logging on to these online Moodle events. And we hope to have that functioning by Monday. So Sandeep will be in touch with you about that. Okay, so so the purpose of these online learning exchanges is to give everybody an opportunity to share the work that they've been doing on the different modules. And unfortunately, several of the people who have done really good work, including Oliver Michael from South Sudan, and Christu Rajamoni from India, and our participant from the Philippines, aren't able to participate today. But I'm hoping that if the mentors are online, that perhaps the mentors can share the work of the participants with all of us. But let's begin. We do have a couple of participants who have done good work on Module 3. We have Claire Davis from the UK and Seth Layton from the US. So maybe we could begin with Claire, who says she can speak. So could you, Claire, share, give us a kind of short 3 to 4 minute summary of the work you've been doing on Module 3. Okay, we can see you. Can we hear you? No. Wait a minute. Hang on. Can anybody? Sandeep, if you're around, can you instruct Claire on how she can use her microphone so we can hear her? Is there a microphone button on your screen, Claire? No. She's looking. Okay. Okay, she's going to try to make adjustments on her computer so we can hear her. Maybe in the meantime, Seth, if you're there, can you pop on and share with us the work that you've been doing on Module 3? Oh, yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. Great. Well, good morning, everyone. Let me just pull this up. So, yep. I'm based here in Boston in the U.S., so I focus on American gender equity issues. You know, I wrote this in a paper, and I have to say after that, it's a tricky thing. I don't know. I'm not very big into this, or self-reflective whining, I guess. But you know, to be an American male, I'm not sure I have the right to say I am affected by gender equity issues sometimes. However, what I've seen and certainly tried to offer support on is both for my wife and for other women in my life. There's a lot of professional conflicts that I see in workplaces, and having a lot to do with employment opportunities and pay scales and sort of value placed on work that certainly have their basis in gender biases. And, you know, in a broader sense, the U.S. is a place where the discrepancies in regards to pay and leadership positions represent issues that affect everyone, regardless of gender. When I looked at the Gap Index report, it was very interesting to see, you know, the U.S. was ranked 23rd total as a nation, very highly for educational attainment, and much less so for health and survival and political empowerment. Political empowerment was actually 60, which I think is an apt categorization of the state of our political structures and leadership right now. I was very surprised to see the economic participation and opportunity portion. Sorry, I'll try and be a little more slow.
If you can talk a little lot more, we can hear you, but can you speak more loudly?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Let me just turn up my mic a little bit too. Cool. Yeah. So what I was very surprised by in my analysis, frankly, was that the U.S. actually was rated fairly highly for economic participation and opportunity. That it was in the 6th, to be honest. And you know, most of my experiences are very anecdotal or based on sort of single-story news reports. So I don't have a reason to doubt the validity of the data from the report. But I do have the real feeling that the how do I put it? The lack of equal pay is a major issue in the U.S. And looking at the sub-index ranking, I anticipate that the U.S. is probably doing well in terms of labor force participation, but lacks wage equality. And if you look at the way that the data is set up, it seems like wage equality is one of the, I believe there are 5 different measures, so it could be unfairly skewed towards saying, well, it's great that more women are participating in the workforce, but if they're participating at a lower wage, that's not true gender equality. You know, I just look at Pakistan. My partner, Aksa, who's not on today, is from Pakistan, and I'm still waiting for her paper to learn a bit more. It's certainly the country that is amazingly low scoring and gives you that feeling of a reminder of the relative benefits in the U.S., but I also prefer to think about it, given the U.S.'s standing and potential in the world, that when there is a human rights issue in another country, it's still a failing of the U.S. because we actually have the latent power, we have the ability to advocate for others and to influence what happens on a global stage. You know, in terms of thinking about what recommendations, what we would have, most of it I would think about would be focusing on mandatory maternity and paternity leave, meaning that a guaranteed job positions when you come back. I also thought it would be quite interesting to see an annual publication of salary ratios between women and men, sort of for all public companies and organizations. That, you know, organizations should have to publish and say this is where we are as a gender equity ratio, and if there's explanations that need to be made from the numbers, then that's fine, but the numbers need to come out first to allow that to be said. Yeah, that's mostly what I did.
Okay, thank you. So just a little technology message. Sandeep and Ash echoes this. If you're not speaking, be sure to mute your microphone so that we don't get feedback and echoes. Okay, Claire, have you figured? Thank you, Seth. So Seth had an interesting report, and I kind of, since I'm working with Seth and AXA, I had a chance to look at it, and one of the comments I made was related to the issue of domestic violence, which is becoming more and more of a major issue in the U.S. As more and more women are stepping forth to share their stories, and domestic violence, as I've read a number of the country reports, seems to be almost a universal gender equity issue for many, many countries and many cultures. Is coming to light in this in our interconnected world. So I don't know whether there are any other people online who, in their study of this module and in the work on their countries, have identified domestic violence as a key issue. So Claire, have you figured out how to get your microphone happening? Do you think we can hear you now? No, still no. Still no. Okay. Well, why don't you continue to work on that? I see that Abdullah, can you hear us? Abdullah Brahma from Ghana has logged on, and he asked the question, but which I don't understand. Where can I locate the logo in the chat room? I don't know the answer to that. So while Claire is still trying to figure out how to make herself heard, I wanted to ask some of the other mentors who I know are online, Ash and Dick Lockwood, to perhaps share with us the work of the participants that you've been working with on Module 3, Gender Equity. What are the key issues that the participants you've been working with have identified? Ash, I know you're working with Deborah Nassim from Kenya. Have you had a chance to look at her report? And what is she telling us? I don't know whether Ash is... can you hear me, Ash? Dick, are you on? I see you've logged in. Can you hear me? Okay. So we're having several technology issues. Sorry. Okay. Ash is referring us all to a really good book called The Locust Effect. It's by a person by the name of Gary Hogan, and it's really good. It documents the prevalence of domestic violence in countries around the world, and it also has some interesting case studies about what people are doing to address this issue. So I heartily recommend that. And Ash also is having issues getting his mic to work. So while people are struggling technology-wise, let me then share some of the work that has been done in India and in South Sudan by two people who can't participate today. So Christu Rajamoni from India. I'm going to just read some excerpts from his summary, which we'll post online. He says that recent events have pushed caste and communal issues to the forefront of national political life in India. Previously, dominant political interest groups have tended to be caste blind representing the interest of the upper caste Hindus. Minority religious groups, as well as lower castes, may distrust existing political structures, parties, and movements, including the women's movement. Women are singled out for special attention and attack as bearers of their respective caste and communal identities. Dalit women have been subject to sexual harassment and attack with virtual impunity. So he goes on to say that gender bias in access to health care, education, and social services is marked in India for two main reasons. There are inequalities within the household in food allocation and in spending on health care and education, and there are also clearly established gender biases in service delivery. The combined result is that girls are less likely to receive medical care than boys, less likely to be admitted to hospital for treatment, and in some instances less likely to survive illnesses than boys. The poor nutritional status of girls and women means that their illnesses are of longer duration. Millions of children in India, but particularly girls, never attend schools or drop out soon after initial enrollment. Considerable efforts are being made to increase girls' access to education, but the relative contribution of different interventions to increasing female enrollment is poorly understood. There's also no consistent overall policy framework on gender issues to which government departments can be held accountable. The national machinery dealing with women and development lacks coordination, resources, and power. The system needs reform. Although there are several thousand NGOs in India, the proportion of these explicitly targeting women is low, and they are concentrated in particular regions. NGOs are under increasing pressure to become alternative service deliverers to government, which may limit their flexibility, capacity for innovation, and advocacy role. So Rajan points out that gender equity is a major issue in India that has not received the attention that it's due, and that presents a contradiction from India's image as a modern, emerging country with an emerging economy. Behind that image, there are big-time issues of gender equity that need to be addressed. Oliver Michael from South Sudan writes that that he himself, his story is incredible. He himself is a survivor and victim of gender violence as a second born of 13 children with 5 girls and 8 boys to the same father and mother who couldn't read and write. His father had a violent relationship with his mother, which caused permanent harm to the future of his siblings. He completed school, although his parents didn't support his education, and then he started in South Sudan with his own money an NGO called Maridi Action for the Rights of Children, and then he founded another NGO called Making an End to Sexual Gender-Based Violence in Maridi and Iba counties. This he got funding from the European Commission for, and he used this NGO involved all men in these 2 districts who were active in committing gender-based violence against women and children in the 2 counties. It was a great opportunity, he says, to transform these violent men into responsible men and create an enabling environment for active participation of women and children in community development. So these are really 2 incredible stories to share with everybody. So let's go back to the people who are currently online and with us. Claire, any progress or still struggling? If not, then what I suggest is that Sandeep will contact you. We'll make an arrangement to Skype with you and make sure that for our next online session, which is going to be on Monday, that you can speak and we can hear you. And Abdullah Brahma from Ghana, Sandeep is working to get you connected, but it doesn't look like that's happening either. So, oh, Chuck is on board. Welcome, Chuck. I know you've been working with Jared Bell and with Patrick Eniasor from Nigeria on Module 3. Can you share with us any of the work that they've been doing on gender equity? Are you there? You can come on. Oh, not yet, he says. Okay. All right, so I think we've gone about as far as we can go with the technology and with the people who have come online. I want to thank everybody for doing that. I hope you'll join us on Monday for our online session for the start of Module 4. Hopefully we will sort our technology problems out by then, and we'll go from there. But thank you very much for participating today. So I'm going to turn off. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.